St. Louis says it wants growth, but growth requires people, and people need jobs. Experts tell First Alert Forward our region has 4 years to reverse declining population or risk falling further behind. This is Forward. I'm David Amilati, and I'm standing in Chesterfield where the immigrant population is surging, people wanting to work and live here. For generations, St. Louis was built on people looking for opportunity. Now, there's one organization looking to reignite that once again. The International Institute is now launching Move2STL, a program recruiting people from all across the country, Americans and green card holders, but only once after securing a job.
I always rep St. Louis hard.
St. Louis native Petrili Hernandez is back in the Lou after 13 years in Washington, D.C.
When people were like, oh, what's 314? Then I'm like, oh man, like that's St. Louis, baby.
She says she's never hesitated to rep St. Louis wherever she went.
My mom was the one that actually shared the flyer for the Move2STL program.
Petrili's connection to the program runs deep. Years ago, Carlos Ramirez, now leading Move2STL, helped her mother launch her own entrepreneurial journey. So when mom saw Ramirez's new initiative, she immediately called her daughter.
Making the choice to come back to St. Louis for my family was an easy one because we knew that we love the city, we love the people, we loved the wonderful, vibrant culture and the mix of cultures. It really wasn't a tough decision where to move to.
For more than a century, the International Institute helped newcomers build lives in St. Louis. In the last year, the organization pivoted and launched Move2STL.
Since the new administration last year, we've had to scramble a little bit and pivot. And so since St. Louis has gone from the 20th largest metro area to now the 23rd, we need to continue to grow the region.
The goal? Match people to jobs before they move. What is the conversation like when you're talking with these individuals in other states, trying to bring them back to St. Louis?
I think for some people, it's really shocking to them that we're doing this, and they're kind of like, what's the catch?
When people ask what's the catch, he shows them. Ramirez isn't just talking about growth, he's hitting the road for it. In 2026 alone, he'll travel to more than 20 cities across the country, from Texas and California to Seattle, Phoenix, Philadelphia, and even Puerto Rico. His strategy: target high-cost metros where people may be priced out and pitch St. Louis as a place where a job and a future are within reach.
When you have the median house cost in Los Angeles is $850,000, the median house cost here in St. Louis is $220,000. And so that affordability and the availability of jobs, I think, is something that really allows people to want to come here and thrive.
Ramirez says the St. Louis Metro has 65,000 job openings. He says Move2STL has hundreds of people ready to move here, but are still waiting for a job offer.
We have about 500 people in our pipeline that would, if they found a job, they would consider moving here. 50 of those, they'll move here tomorrow. 450 of them, if they found the right opportunity, they'd consider moving here.
Ramirez says awareness, not willingness, may be the problem.
We will do the work, but we just need the support.
We needed a spot for it.
He's calling on local employers to step up.
The location made a lot of sense.
We found at least one already has.
We always want to attract the best talent to our company. The best talent may be here or it may be somewhere else. So one, we want to cast a wider net, but then two, we want to play our part in terms of helping people come to St. Louis and helping us long-term as a region because we need population growth.
Raj Hutt says the region can't grow if companies wait for talent to find them, but not everyone is convinced. What do you have to say to critics who will say there's people here in St. Louis that already call it home and they can't find a job? Why are you recruiting people from beyond the state to come to St. Louis?
We have a lot of St. Louis residents, even though they're already here, that have actually reached out to us asking if we could help them find a job. So we're connecting them with our partners here in the region. The more people that are employed, that means more money is being spent. That means economic development increases. That means that more jobs become available because of the growth of the population.
Ramirez calls it a rising tide strategy. More workers, more spending, more growth.
I just see a kitchen space like this.
For Petrili, she's back in St. Louis as a business owner, traveling the country helping nonprofits and organizations where food service and public health intersect.
We all love to gather and celebrate around food, I think, no matter where we come from.
If Move2STL works, this is what it looks like. A St. Louis native comes home, builds a business, and hires the next person who decides to move here. Will you need employees down the road? Could you see yourself maybe hiring someone
Absolutely.
who chooses to move to St. Louis?
My goal always has been to generate impact right where I live. I definitely want to bring people in that are values aligned, that are in the Midwest, in St. Louis. I think there's a lot of opportunity for that.
She says St. Louis trains world-class talent, but too often loses it. And keeping them here may just be as important as recruiting new ones.
If you're looking to move someplace that has those cultural components, have those wonderful kind of neighborhood vibes, but also is affordable, you can't really get any better than St. Louis.
Move2STL wants to bring 300 households to St. Louis this year, but it says it can't do it alone. It needs employers and regional power players to step up. I reached out to the city, to the county, Explore St. Louis, Greater St. Louis, Inc., even East-West Gateway, seeing if they'd want to partner up, and so far no one's been available to publicly comment. The question we're trying to ask is if St. Louis wants growth, who's responsible for delivering it?